Here's how I made 14 cakes and sold them for my St. Patrick's Day flash sale. And there was a catch. I posted that one of these cakes will be filled with this Lucky Charms center, and the lucky customer who ends up purchasing this cake will win a free 7-inch cake for a future order, the design of their choice. So I'm going to show you how I decorated all of my flash cakes, and you let me know which one you think it is. Cake number 1 is green vanilla cake with Oreo buttercream filling. I started out with this bright, almost neon green buttercream base, and then I added a green chocolate drip all the way around. I backed up some white buttercream and used a 1M piping tip to make this border on top. Then I add this cute green glitter Happy St. Patrick's Day topper. I add some shamrock sprinkles to the top of the cake as well as onto the border. Then I add some gold coin toppers for added decoration as well as some glitter shamrocks. And now this one's all done. Here's what it looks like. Cake number 2 is green vanilla cake with cream cheese filling. I frosted this one in a leaf green buttercream base. I piped a white border onto the top and bottom before placing a Happy St. Patrick's Day topper. I add 2 of those glitter shamrocks to the top. Then I sprinkle some of those little shamrocks onto the top of the cake as well as both borders. And last, I thought this cake could use some gold, so I grabbed my 24-karat edible gold leaf and I just carefully place it all around that cake. Here's what this one looks like. Cake number 3 is green vanilla cake with vanilla buttercream filling. I frosted this one in all white and then I added a green drip. I piped a lighter green border using a 1M tip. I added a Happy St. Patrick's Day glitter topper before adding those shamrock sprinkles. I found these adorable green glitter leprechaun hats, so I put them on little toothpicks and added them as toppers. And last, I add these little gold coins that have some shamrocks on them and I place those around the cake. This one's all done. Here's what that one looks like. Cake number 4 is green vanilla cake with almond buttercream filling. I frosted this one in that neon green color and then added a darker green border to the top and the bottom. And using that same color and piping tip, which is a 4B, I pipe these 4-leaf clovers all around the sides of the cake. Then I go back in with a small round tip to make the little stems. Once those are all piped, I add a Happy St. Patrick's Day topper, and I finish it off with those gold coins around the top border. Now this one is all done. Here's what it looks like. Cake number 5 is vanilla cake with Oreo buttercream filling. I frosted this one in a dark green buttercream base and added a white border to the top and bottom. I added that St. Patrick's Day topper and those 4-leaf clovers to each side in a lighter green. I then grabbed these gold pearl sprinkles and placed them in between every other little shell border. And last, I add a couple of those gold coins. Now this one is all finished. Here's what it looks like. Cake number 6 is green vanilla cake with vanilla buttercream filling. I frosted this one in that darker shade of green buttercream, which I thought paired so well with the color gold. So I added these gold sphere toppers on top and towards the bottom. I placed a Happy St. Patrick's Day topper, and then I also added some edible gold leaf all around the cake. Here's what that one looks like. Cake number 7 is green vanilla cake with cream cheese filling. I frosted this one all white and then I added a light green border to the bottom. I purchased the St. Patrick's Day topper at my local cake supply store and added it to the top. I piped another border the same as the bottom onto the top, and then I added a darker green border right underneath that on top and right above the bottom one. I grabbed those gold pearl sprinkles and I placed one in between every other shell border. And last, I grabbed those gold coins and I pressed them onto the sides of the cake. Here's what this one looks like. Cake number 8 is green vanilla cake with almond buttercream filling. This one is a heart cake and I frosted this in that neon green buttercream base. I backed up that dark green buttercream and added a border onto the bottom and the top. I piped a white border using a Wilton 21 tip right underneath the top one and right above the bottom border. I grabbed one of my glitter toppers but didn't attach it to the stick and placed it flat on top of the cake. And I finished this one off by adding some of those gold coins to the top border. I love how this one turned out. Here's what it looks like. Cake number 9 is green vanilla cake with Oreo buttercream filling. This one has that leaf green buttercream base, and then I add a lighter green drip. I piped a white border on top of the cake. I placed this green glitter pot filled with coins topper. I place some gold sphere toppers on top of the cake as well as some towards the bottom. I grab my shamrock sprinkles and I add those to the top of the cake onto the border. And finally, I place some of those gold coins to the cake. Here's what this one looks like. Cake number 10 is green vanilla cake with vanilla buttercream filling. I frosted this one in regular green buttercream and then I piped some lighter green borders onto the top and bottom. I placed this little black pot on top of the cake. I grabbed these shiny green coins and placed them inside, as well as some coming out of it and then cascading down towards the front. And last, I grabbed those shamrock sprinkles and add some on top. Now this one's all done. Here's what it looks like. Cake number 11 is green vanilla cake with cream cheese filling. I frosted this one in a light green buttercream base. Then I added a neon green colored drip onto the sides. I piped a white border on top of that, and then I added these glitter shamrock toppers. I placed 4 of them on top in 2 different shades of green, and then I finished it off with these shamrock sprinkles, as well as some edible 14-karat gold leaf all around the cake. Now this one's finished. Here's what it looks like. Cake number 12 is green vanilla cake with almond buttercream filling. This one is frosted in dark green buttercream, and then I added a similar shade of green drip. I piped a white border on top, and then I added a St. Patrick's Day topper. I carefully placed some gold leaf all around the cake, as well as some on the border. I add 2 of those glitter leprechaun hat toppers. Then I grabbed these green pearl sprinkles, which are actually chocolate, and I place one in between every one of those shell borders. Now this one's finished. Here's what it looks like. Cake number 13 is green vanilla cake with Oreo buttercream filling. This one is another heart cake, and I frosted this in a light green buttercream base. I used that neon green buttercream for the borders on top and bottom. I used a Wilton 21 tip to add a second border in white, and I thought it would look cute to add another one inside of the top border. I grabbed a glitter St. Patrick's Day topper without the stick and placed it on top. And using that same neon shade, I add this ruffled swoops along the sides. I added some white detail to those swoops, and then I add some of those gold coins on the top border. And now this one is all done. Here's what it looks like. And finally, cake number 14 is green vanilla cake with cream cheese filling. This one has a dark green buttercream base, and I decided to grab those 4-leaf clover marshmallows from that Lucky Charms cereal, and I carefully added them to the sides of the cake in this pattern. Once I finished adding all of those, I grabbed this light green buttercream and piped this border on top of the cake, which also matches the same color as the marshmallows. I add a glitter Happy St. Patrick's Day topper, and then I grab those chocolate pearl sprinkles. I place those in between every other shell border, and then I finish this one off with some green coins that I add on top. And now this cake is all done. Here's what it looks like, and here's what all of the cakes look like in my fridge. These were so much fun to make. Let me know which one you think is the lucky cake that has the Lucky Charms center.